Let's make some noise. Come on.
Thank you once again, Super Bowl MVP Nick Foles. And welcome back, everybody, to the final word. The first final word of 2026. The first time I will deliver the final word in 2026. Happy New Year, everybody. We've had about, I guess, close to 24 hours for the new year to kick in. Are you feeling any better or any different? I sure as hell ain't. But we got to give 26 its opportunity to set in. Also, it's the end of the holidays, right? I mean, to a lot of people, today is a very, depressing day because when you look at things and the way I look at things, or maybe not the same way that normal people look at things, all the advances, all the successes, all the failures that we had individually in the past year, well, we just got our reward. It was Christmas and New Year's, and now we get to do it all over again. That's right. Yeah. Woohoo. Yeah. Great. I just can't wait. I can't wait to go back up and down the emotional roller coaster yet again. And also be another year older in the process. Oh, I mean, the hits keep it coming. But Happy New Year to everybody out there. And our final broadcast episode of the week, we'll kind of send you out in style on this New Year's Day, 2026 Final Word edition. Quiet day in Philadelphia sports. I've had, over the last couple weeks, obviously coming on Christmas night and then now doing this, not what you call the honeycomb or the hot stove of Philadelphia sports news, but there's some things to talk about tonight, and we're going to get into them. This is an opportunity for me to flex our final word muscles and talk about Flyers prospects and NHL draft prospects and baseball cards. I mean, this is actually not a bad thing for me tonight, but we're going to try to have some fun tonight. Eagles are in the news again as we get ready for week 18. Another, with the playoffs incoming, and this should be a pretty interesting week across the NFL, not necessarily in Philadelphia, as the Eagles will have officially named that they're going to rest the majority of their starters, or they're going to rest key starters. I don't know if you can actually rest all the starters. I don't even know if that's possible, but the key guys are going to rest, to include Jalen Hurts, as Tanner McKee will get his long-anticipated start. And me and Kyle Quinn earlier on the Birds Blast were discussing this. What happens if Tanner McKee – first of all, what happens if Kevin Petula opens up the playbook for Tanner McKee, and he throws about 450, 4 or 5 touchdowns, puts up about 40 points on the board? I mean – yeah. Well, what are we going to do with that little bit of information going into the playoffs, man? So this could be I guess it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't moment. But Tanner McKee will get the opportunity this week to start, along with a lot of other players that we haven't really talked about much this weekend, as the Eagles finish out their regular season against the Commanders and wait with bated breath on who their next opponent will be. We don't know. It's up in the air, and this weekend we'll go 100% of the way to find out who that is. Will it be the Packers? Will it be the Rams? Will it be the 49ers? And who do you want and why? So that will be on the table tonight. The Flyers last night very listlessly lost to Calgary. Sam Ersson thrown to the Wolves last night, I guess, as the team. I hate the scheduled loss thing, and I don't necessarily believe in it. I don't really – I mean, I'm not going to say that teams don't do it, especially this day and age, but I think hockey – or I want to believe that hockey still being the pure sports grounds, they don't do scheduled losses, and I can't see a Rick Tocchet team doing scheduled losses. I hope that's not what the Flyers were doing last night, but if that's what they were, I guess it's an easier pill for me to swallow than getting dominated by the hapless Calgary Flames to a tune to 5-1. We can talk about that. Flyers did make a trade yesterday. Sent Igor Zamula. Thank God he's gone. And we got a new player coming in from Pittsburgh. We'll talk about him tonight too. The MLB hot stove. Do we even talk that anymore here? Is it officially, as we're literally less than 45 days away from pitchers and catchers reporting, Can we stop talking about hot stove when it refers to the Phillies? Has this not been the most uninspiring offseason maybe in the history of the organization, which was supposed to be the most pivotal offseason, as the Phillies were committed, allegedly, to making the necessary changes or tweaks to be a competitive, or not competitive, but a World Series contender? But no news yet again. Another day gone as we get closer to spring training and the prospects of maybe having Rafael Marchand as your starting catcher in 2026, along with Nick Castellanos. I mean, the Phillies cut him at this point. I think that's what we've all decided that's going to happen. So we'll talk Phillies and we'll talk MLB hot stove. Our of the night segment, our card review, and our day in Philadelphia sports history, all those great things that we've become accustomed to on the program. We'll be here tonight. And Joe Hale's checking in. Joe, how are you? Absolutely. We'll open the phone lines tonight as we usher in the new year, 2026, on the table. So let's get going, I guess. I'll kind of dispatch with the pleasantries. Let's have ourselves a show. And let me just get some business handled out of the way, as Joe Hale wants the phone lines open, and they will be open. So here you go. The phone lines are now opened. Make sure that you got that link that's popping into your social media streams. Hop on. Click the link. It'll take you backstage. I'll pull you on stage, and we have some fun with it. I don't have to see you if you don't feel comfortable with a camera, but I do have to be able to hear, and you have to be able to hear me, and you have to be able to speak to me. So phone lines are now open. Jump in if you want. Let's have some fun, if you will, and let's roll with our day in Philadelphia sports history. So strap in, strap up, strap on, keep your head, hands, and feet inside the car at all times. And on this day in Philadelphia sports history, January 1st, 1935, once upon a time, the Temple Owl football program was a regional powerhouse in college football. On this New Year's Day in 1935, the undefeated Owls, 7-0-2, headed by Hall of Fame coach Glenn Pop Warner, played in the inaugural, the first ever Sugar Bowl, resulting in a 20-14 loss to Tulane. So some things stay the same. Some things never change. So Temple, obviously, at one time, when Pop Warner was coaching them, was considered a regional football powerhouse. And today, back in 1935, played in the first ever Sugar Bowl, losing to Tulane. What a shocker. They lost to Tulane. And that is your day in Philadelphia sports history. Brought to you by the fine folks here at the It's a Wrap Sports Network, and specifically those that bring you the Philly AM Sports featuring Al and Mike. All of our programming that might have been a little bit interrupted due to the holidays. This wasn't one of them. They were pretty regular, but some of our shows that got interrupted because of the holidays will be back as of now. We're back into the regular mode. Make sure you're checking out Mike and Al every Sunday morning at 9. Again, this show was not interrupted. They were coming at you throughout the holiday period, and they'll be back in full force on Sunday as well. So make sure you're checking out the Philly AM Sports Show every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eagles, Commanders, Week 18. Jalen Hurts among the other key starters that will not play. Tanner McKee will get the opportunity. And what happens if, one, the Eagles decide to get creative on offense, open up the playbook, and Tanner McKee starts chucking that football around the yard? What kind of ramifications does it have on the Hurts huggers and others in this city when it comes to your quarterback? Because the way we talk here, you can't give Tanner McKee an opportunity, because that will create a quarterback controversy. And I want to know, do you feel that it's in any circumstance? Is there a quarterback controversy if Tanner McKee on a meaningless Week 18 game against the Washington Commanders goes out and throws for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns? I don't know if that necessarily constitutes a quarterback controversy, but if Kevin Petula and Nick Sirianni open up the playbook and we start seeing like a lot of creativity, or a lot of openness to the play calling. If the Eagles are actually throwing the ball on 3rd and long, I think this kind of goes a long way in maybe creating a quarterback controversy. So it's the story to keep an eye on. I mean, in a game that's going to mean absolutely nothing, Eagles are going Kelly Green, by the way, but in a game that's going to mean almost nothing, this is obviously a storyline to keep out. The Eagles also activated Cameron Williams today from IR. Reed Blankenship diagnosed with a concussion today after practice. Thankfully, he won't be playing. And Jalen Carter was also a non-participant in practice due to a hip injury. So that's some interesting tidbits coming out of Eagle practice today. Again, in a meaningless game between the Washington Commanders and the Eagles, incoming on Sunday at 4:30 or 4:25, whatever it is. So let's open up the phone lines. We're going to go to Joe Hale. Joe, Happy New Year. How you doing?
New Year. First of all, you're wrong. It wasn't Reed Blankenship. It was, who's the other one that is on Marcus? No, Marcus Epps, I think. It's a safety. It's not Blankenship.
Not Blankenship for what?
For the concussion.
I'm reading it right off the Eagles website.
Oh, because NFL is reporting something else.
Well, it really doesn't matter because neither one are going to play.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So, I'm going to change the topic. What is your New Year's tradition?
Like my New Year's Day tradition?
Yes.
Like what do I usually do?
Yeah, because the reason I say that is the mummers. It's a mummer day.
It's a mummer day.
Yeah. I know people that were in the mummers today.
I heard the string bands got suspended because of high winds. Is that true?
They did, but they just performed, but they didn't get graded on anything yet.
So is that going to come later on, or is there another performance they're going to do some other time, or what?
It's another performance on the other time.
Okay. Because I saw the footage this morning. I must have missed the snow this morning. It must have come and went before I woke up because was it snowing at some point, like around 5 a.m?
Yes, 5 a.m.
But as far as my New Year's Day traditions, it's been pretty. It would either go to the parade. See, my dad being a cop, he would work the parade.
Okay.
So I spent a lot of time down there as a young man, hanging out, watching my dad work and watching the parade, and then spending time over in the 6th district, watching them haul drunks into the district, throw them into the jail cells in the back. About 7, 8 years old, I'm sitting out there watching these guys get hauled through the police department. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that shapes the character of a young man.
They don't care anymore.
No, I know they don't care anymore. But other than that, man, we just kind of hang out. Obviously, pork. Typically, today I did not eat pork. Well, yeah, I did eat some sort of pork today. But typically, it's a pork dinner. My family's all doing other things today, so I'm just kind of here chilling out. What about you, Joe? What is your New Year's Day tradition?
The mummers and eating ham.
It's pork. It works.
So, let's talk Eagles.
Let's talk Eagles.
Tanner McKee, if he airs out, it's not going to be a quarterback controversy. Because it's the freaking Commanders, and by the way, they're starting Josh Johnson.
Yeah, I believe you. I believe you. I don't necessarily listen, Joe. The question is not necessarily whether or not is a controversy if Tanner McKee has a good game. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking if the playbook seems to be a little bit more freer, a little bit more opened, a little bit more ballsier. Does that create the controversy? Not necessarily the performance of Tanner McKee,
no,
but the actual plays that he's able to run. That you don't think nothing happens with that, huh?
No, they're going to call the same plays for McKay. But I heard it. It's a deciding game tomorrow to Seattle. You know what's weird? The Bears are not playing Caleb Williams, which is odd.
Yeah, I saw that he will be sitting down. I guess the Bears don't care to move up. I guess they're okay with moving back down. I mean, they lost.
And it's funny. If the Eagles trump the Bears, the Eagles will play the Packers.
Yep.
And then the Bears would have to play San Fran or the Seattle
on the road.
Yes.
I mean, I think they're going on the road either way, but I mean, maybe there's something going on, Caleb Williams, that they want to address heading into the playoffs. Maybe Johnson's like, you know what? Don't care. We'll take whatever seed they got, and we'll go when we have to go do what we have to do.
Here's an interesting stat. Say Tampa wins, they don't get in.
Okay.
Say if the Saints win. Say if Atlanta beats the Saints, Carolina gets in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I believe the game between Tampa and Carolina is for the division. The winner wins the division, loser goes home.
No. And if ESPN said that, if say, who was it? Even your guy said it. That comes on a podcast on 94. He even said it today.
Kyle Quinn?
Yes, Kyle said it. He was on 94 this morning, by the way.
Yeah, he mentioned he was on the hosting a show. He's also hosting apparently tomorrow, he said. So make sure you're checking him out. What did Kyle say about the scenario here?
That Carolina, if Carolina loses, they can still get in.
As a wild card?
Yes. The division. If Atlanta beats the Saints.
So if Tampa wins, it's not outright going to them as the division champions.
Correct. Because because the Saints beat Saints beat Tampa.
Yeah, because if Carolina lost and Tampa won and the Falcons won, then you'd have three teams at 8 and 9 at the top of the NFC South, and then it would be a tiebreaker scenario.
Carolina would get in because they have a tiebreaker.
Yeah, okay.
Because they beat the Saints.
But here's the thing: no, it doesn't matter. Like, there's only one team from the NFC South going to the playoffs, and that's the division champion. Everybody else is done. No, everything's been clinched up because right now Green Bay holds the 7th seed.
So what I'm saying is, I might be wrong, but Carolina, if they lose, they're still the champs. If Atlanta beats the Saints.
But my point is this: there's not another team making it in from the South that is not the division champion. That's what I'm saying.
It's going to be to them too.
Right. Now we got that out of the way. What about the Flyers, Joe? Did you watch the game last night?
I'm going to blame a lot of the calls on those refs.
In the Flyers game?
Yes.
Okay. Well, what calls specifically? Do you have anything specific you want to talk about?
The stupid penalties.
The 3 of them?
Yes.
Okay. You're not going to blame Sam Ersson for any of the instability last night?
Ersson blows. Get him off.
Ersson was terrible last night. Terrible.
I love the Flyers trade for Sambula that didn't want to be here. That the kid used to play in Hershey that they acquired, and he's a center, and he can play right wing and left wing.
Philip Tomasino is his name, and we're going to talk about him a little bit later on in the program. And he was drafted originally by Nashville, then spent some time in Pittsburgh's organization, and then on his way here to the Flyers. So, former first-round pick back in 2019, but I don't know, Joe. I don't know if it's a needle mover for me. No. I think he's got a couple, maybe 10 games total in the NHL. Not more than that, but not much more than that. Really hasn't really gotten his foothold in the NHL with 6. So he's got about 65 games in his career played in the NHL. So
I can't wait. I'm going next Saturday. I'm sitting right behind the place
against Tampa, right?
Yes.
Where are you sitting? Right behind what?
I'm sitting right behind the Flyers goalie.
Oh, awesome. So, for the first and third period?
Yes.
Cool.
I should have a sign that says, "Everybody support. It's a wrap."
Sports. I would love that, Joe. That'd be great.
I would.
That would be great.
I should. It'd be interesting. And who's that?
Absolutely would be interesting. All right, Joe, listen, I'm going to let you go, but so you don't think there's going to be any kind of controversy if the playbook gets opened up and you said it's not going to get opened up, but what happens if it does get opened up? Is there some sort of controversy? Is there some sort of there will be a conversation, but will there be a heated conversation about why did you open up the playbook for Tanner McKee and not for Jalen Hurts? You don't think any of that's going to happen?
Because I think McKee only plays half of the game, and then they go to the third string quarterback.
It's Mr. Sam Howell.
Or
We'll see.
Or is it the other one they just signed?
Ian Book?
Yes, Mr. Book.
Somebody. We'll see. But it's going to be interesting to watch. I mean, the only thing really interesting about that game is going to be whether or not Tanner McKee gets an opportunity to air it out. All right, Joe, listen, we'll talk next week, man. Don't forget the other programming this weekend, all right?
Yep.
Joe Hal. All right. So let's continue on with our show. Listen, I do believe, honestly, in a game that means absolutely nothing for the Eagles. I mean, not a thing. And, you know, me and Kyle talked about a little bit earlier. Kind of what are some of the situations or some of the scenarios you want to see play out? Do you want to see a large dosage of Shipley, Tank Bigsby, Ty Robinson, players that we haven't necessarily had an opportunity to watch or look at all season are going to get their chance to play. And Tanner McKee fits that category of a player we haven't seen all season, and he's going to get an opportunity to play. There are some players like Shipley, for example, that I think is going to be battling for a job, and he needs to get whatever opportunities he needs to take full advantage of. So I think there's going to be something to play for on a player level next year or on Sunday. I 100% believe that. I think that they're going to go out there and give their best. And I think, honestly, Tanner McKee is going to get an opportunity to do the same thing. And I know that there's a lot of people that are partial to Jalen Hurts in this town that don't want to see that. They don't want to see Tanner McKee get an opportunity for whatever reason. Some of it's because they don't want the trade stock that Tanner McKee has to be ruined. I think that's a cop-out. I think the main reason is they just don't want that quarterback controversy. They don't want to have to deal with that. And that's tough noogies. I mean, if Tanner McKee goes out there, and again, it's not necessarily the individual performance that I'm looking at. It's what kind of playbook is he running? What type of plays is he doing? Is he letting it rip a lot of times? Does he drop back and pass 40 times in his football game? You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of thing that I'm looking at. And that tells me a lot. And like me and Kyle also said, everyone asking for the questions about how do we fix the Eagles offense, I don't really know that that's even something that should be asked anymore, because I don't think the Eagles offense is broken. And I think this is exactly what the Eagle offense is in 2025. This is what the coaches want it to be. And this is what it's going to be. So asking questions like, well, what's wrong with the offense? How do we fix it? Yada, yada, yada is just a waste of time. So maybe this gives the Eagles offense and their offensive play callers, Kevin Padula, the opportunity to kind of air out some of his dirty laundry. You know what I'm saying? Is sort of say, look what I can do if given a different skill set. So I'm going to love to see how that plays out on Sunday, if it even plays out at all. Ricky Deal. Happy New Year, Ricky. How are you tonight?
I'm good.
What is on your mind tonight, Ricky?
And go Flyers.
Ricky, did you watch the game last night?
Mm-hmm.
Not a good game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't a good game. Sam Urson, Ricky, have you seen enough of Sam Urson? Yeah, I think I've seen enough of Sam Urson too. I mentioned on the post game last night that Sam Urson's out of options. So if the Flyers want to move on from Urson, they would have to cut him, right? Because he'd have to clear waivers before being sent back down to the minors. Now, I think it's time to send somebody else up. I think Kovasov or Bjornsson, somebody new needs to come up here and get a shot. Do you agree? Do you agree that we need to make a switch at goalie? I agree. Yeah, I think it's time. I think it's time to make a move. Big deal if Sam Urson gets through waivers and leaves. I'm not really going to bat an eyelash about it. Ricky, Eagles, Commanders. Are you going to be paying attention on Sunday? Do you want the Eagles? I mean, do you think the Eagles win?
Central line is in. Go after Fuse room to the IG, and then we get to
Ricky, you there?
Mm-hmm.
Eagles going to beat the Commanders on Sunday, Ricky? All right, Ricky, can you hear me? All right, Ricky Deal's having some technical problems again. That's okay. Work them out, Ricky. I'll get you back on. All right. So, Eagles, Commanders, Flyers, Flames. Sixers had a big game last night, too. The BJ Edgecombe overtime thriller beating Memphis. All's well in the Philadelphia sports landscape, and all's well here on the It's a Wrap Sports. This is your lineup for the rest of the week. Tomorrow, Big Al will come in at you with the Philly Friday Frenzy, the Flyers-Oilers post-game show. On Saturday, Sunday, Philly AM Sports, 3 o'clock. We got pre and post game or pre-game Steelers. Then we got Eagles Commanders post game. Then you got post game Steelers Ravens as they got the Sunday night game and me. So I'll be gone. Then the actual Ravens Steelers post game because I'll be coming on way before that game ends. And here's your final tally on the clear the ice for this week. Mike Laurel will have you Saturday afternoon as the Flyers will end up their Western Canadian road trip in Edmonton against Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl and the two-time defending Western Conference champion Edmonton Oilers. Obviously, when you look at Urson getting the opportunity last night, it was mainly probably because they wanted to set up the matchup for Urson and the Oilers. But boy, oh boy, what a lackluster performance from Urson and the Flyers last night as they lost 5-1. Ricky Deal says, let's go Flyers. Ricky, I agree. We have some technical problems, but we'll talk again next week, Ricky. You know that. Baseball news. We can go over the hot stove real quick. Not much happening since the last time we updated it. Dwayne Myers, the outfielder formerly of the Miami Marlins, is on his way to Cincinnati. He was part of a trade for minor league outfielder Ethan O'Donnell. J.J. Bleday is moving his act from Sacramento to Cincinnati on a one-year contract. Pete Fairbanks goes from Tampa to Miami on a one-year deal. Our old friend Zach Eflin staying put in Baltimore for one more year. He signed a one-year contract to remain with the Orioles. Ahmad Rosario is on his way nowhere as he signed a one-year deal to stay in New York with the Yankees. And Hunter Harvey going from the Royals to the Cubs on a one-year contract. And that is all your confirmed news out of the hot stove today. As I know there was some movement on the Japanese pitching front, but we'll talk about that when that becomes confirmed. I don't like to talk about those things before they are 100% confirmed, but he is not coming to Philadelphia. It's pretty much a done deal. He's on his way to Houston to be an Astro. So JJ or JT Real Muto continues to be a thorn in our side. Is he coming? Is he going? What do you do there if he doesn't go? That's the real story that I want to know. Are we really going to start our season next year with a battery of Rafael Marchand and freaking Garrett Stubbs? Did the Phillies try to sign a veteran catcher to come in and make a move? Is there a trade incoming for a player like an Adley Rushman or a Hunter Goodman? I proposed the trade earlier in the week on the social media platforms. Bryson Stott, Gene Cabrera, and Gage Wood to Colorado for Hunter Goodman. I am not one to lightly give up on our prospects, and I think Gene Cabrera is going to be a really, really good one. But in about 2 years, give or take, I think he gets an opportunity this year to play in AAA. But if I have an opportunity to pick up a catcher that I can build my team of the future around, and that's what Hunter Goodman is under team control now for, I think, 3 more seasons after this one. I think this is only his 4th year coming up of his contract. And I don't have anything relatable to MLB catching in my organization right now. I think you go ahead and try to trade it for a young player like that. Now, Colorado's obviously not going to give up easily on this kid. He's about one of the only good prospects that currently have, or I should say MLB proven prospects that they currently have. So they will probably be very stingy about giving up on Hunter Goodman. But Dombrowski's got to do something, man. He's got to do something if they don't re-sign JT. And again, even if they do re-sign JT, we got to figure something out about the catching situation for this team. So no news with the Phillies again, as we are less than 45 days away from spring training. And is this it? It is the change that we were going to get was Adolis Garcia and re-signing Kyle Schwarber. Is that the change that's going to push us over the top? Is going to shoot us up into the stratosphere with the Dodgers and the Blue Jays? Is that it? It can't be it, right? I mean, you got your superstar athlete Bryce Harper wearing not elite t-shirts, drinking breast milk, making stuff on TikTok. You got some uncertainty with your starting rotation. You went in and you kind of gave your bullpen a little bit of a facelift, got rid of a pitcher that you probably didn't have to get rid of, but you're mad at him, so you sent him back to Kansas City where he started his career in Matt Strahm. You re-sign Kyle Schwarber, and you bring in a player who has had maybe one good year and 5 in major league experience. And is that what we're supposed to believe is going to get us over the top? I'm concerned, man. I'm concerned for this baseball team. I'm concerned for this franchise. 100%. As we are less than 45 days away from spring training. But I guess that can wait till next time. All right, let me get into this. We have some let's get into our of the night segments here on the program as we're raging through our New Year's Day spectacular show. Let's do some of the night. All right, we're going to do a two for tonight. We're going to go Flyer prospect and NHL draft prospect tonight. Let's start it with our Flyers draft prospect, or our Flyers prospect, not draft prospect, but our Flyers prospect. And it's the newest Flyer, Philip Tomasino, acquired yesterday or the day before from the Pittsburgh Penguins in exchange for Igor Zamula. Tomasino, a center wing hybrid, let's just call him a forward, who is currently on the Flyers roster. I don't know if that's where he's going to end up, if that's where they're going to put him, but he is on the Flyers roster. He is not rostered with Lehigh Valley as of right now. I do not know where they end up with him, but he is on the roster as we speak. 6 foot, 190-pound, drafted first round 2019 by the Nashville Predators. He's a fearless puck carrier, willing to play the price to take the puck of a high danger parts of the offensive zone. His hands are elite. Tomasino is a Swiss Army knife forward whose versatility made him very effective. So I guess, in layman's terms, for a former first-round pick in 2019, now on to his third NHL franchise, the Swiss Army knife makes him, you should just say, a fourth liner. I mean, there was a lot of potential when he was being scouted to come out in the draft. That potential has not been realized as of yet. And we're getting a little bit late in the game to say that he's currently still of that first-round pedigree. And he was top 10 first-round pick in 2019 by the Predators. But he comes to the Flyers, and saying goodbye is Igor Zamula, who was absolutely useless here. Talk about unfulfilled potential. That's Igor Zamula in a nutshell. I think they kept him around, honestly, because he could speak. He's Russian, and he was serving as an interpreter with Michkov. I honestly believe that's why he was kept around. Michkov can now speak workable English, so now it's time to move on from Igor Zamula because he was really nothing but more than a liability on the ice for the Flyers. As Zamula will move on to the Pittsburgh Penguins, and we get Tomasino, who's currently rostered with the Flyers. In his career, me and Joe were talking about it a little bit. He was actually obviously drafted by Nashville, spent some time in the Nashville Predator system for two different organizations in the AHL. Nashville was affiliated at one point with the Chicago Wolves before becoming currently affiliated with the Milwaukee Admirals. So he played for both those teams. Did play 76 games, though, for the Predators back in 21-22, 11 goals, 21 assists for 32 points. But since then, he played 31 goals the year or 31 games the year after that, then sort of bounced around, went back down to the minors, kind of half with the Predators, half with Milwaukee. Then 23-24, he comes back up, plays about half the season with Nashville, half the season with Milwaukee. Then last year, just 11 games for the Predators before being sent back down, or for being moved, actually being traded. He spent 50 games with Pittsburgh, and then finished up the season with 9 games with Pittsburgh for the year. So, or I should say, finished up 50 games in 24-25. Started the season with Pittsburgh, played in only 9 games, and has been in the AHL ever since. 15 games with Scranton Wilkes-Barre before getting moved to the Flyers. He's got the pedigree. He's played in the NHL, but it seems like he just can't stick. And he's one of those players, and it happens to a lot of them. They show flashes and sometimes they get lost on the ice. They go large spaces of time and get lost on the ice. But I think for what the Flyers gave up, this is absolutely a steal for Danny B. And bring him on. We definitely need as much offensive power or help that we can get. And he's a younger player, so I'm not expecting too much from him. I don't know how he's going to fit in, but again, he's rostered for the Flyers right now. And we'll see where that ends up and how that takes him throughout the rest of the season. So Philip Tomasino, I don't even know if he really categorizes anymore as a prospect, but tonight, he's a prospect tonight as the newest Flyer added to the team. So there you go. There's our Flyer prospect of the night. What's going on, Adam? Happy New Year to you too. Hope all is well. Now let's do our second part of our Of the Night segment. We're talking NHL prospect. We're talking NHL draft prospect. And let's talk Nicholas Armanolson, the right wing, left wing from Biro of the U18 region, 6'1", 185-pound forward. He's an offensively minded winger with strong puck handling skills. He is at his best on the power play, where he is a threat with a quick, accurate shot. He also has the skating ability to push play forward, rarely holding on to the puck for long, as he often looks to ramp up the pace. His skating speed and decision-making will be tested further in the SHL, which should provide more answers about his ceiling. If we look right now currently at the prospects in reference to where they grade out and like who's going where, I mean, we're early in this process with the draft being in July, this being January, but there's sort of a top 5 kind of grading itself out as we speak. He is sort of, as of right now, if you're looking at all the top prospects that be drafted, he's leading the way in points production this season for his team. 18 games played for the U20 National team out there in Switzerland. 18 games played, 14 goals, 10 assists, 24 points, 12 penalty minutes. As I'm not going to sit here and tell you that's the number 1 overall. I mean, there's a young kid playing with Penn State by the name of Gavin McKenna. That's got a lot of people's eyes tuned in onto him. He's not having a great start to his season. Only 4 goals to his first 16 games at the NCAA level. But your guess is as good as mine. There isn't really a standout this year that I wouldn't call a generational talent this year. There's some really good players. But to sit here and say you got a Macklin Celebrini, you got yourself a Connor Bednard, you got yourself a, hell, we can go even further back. You got yourself a Sidney Crosby. That's not here this year as of right now. So we'll see how this thing grades out. But Arman Olsen is, if the draft was to be held today, probably a top 5 selection. And he's got some of those tools that make him very coveted in the NHL, being the quick decision making and the quick hands. Those are lethal combinations at the NHL level. And we'll have to wait and see more how he develops and which way his career goes from here. But Nicholas Arman-Olsson is your NHL draft prospect of the night. And we also talked some Philip Tomasino as a Flyers prospect, the newest Flyer acquired in the trade the other day from the Pittsburgh Penguins. So a twofer on the of the night segment tonight, trying to get caught up as we get deeper into January. The gloves are off now because now I got to start talking Phillies players. So I'm getting backed up when it comes to these of the night segments. I got to get through some of these players. So we're going to probably be doing twofers pretty much every single night now until the summer. Woohoo. That's great for me. But no, I really enjoy doing them. So there you have your of the night segments. Draft, NHL draft, and Flyer prospect. Let's wrap it up with our favorite part of the show. All right, yeah, we're going to do some MattyB card review tonight. We didn't do one the other night. We got kind of caught up, so we're going to do one tonight. We're going to get caught back up. We're going to stick back into. We're going to go back to 2025 Topps Chrome. They're one of their inserts of that year, the Power Players insert. You guys have seen these cards before, and I'm going to put it up here in a second. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So 2025 Topps Chrome Power Player. And this is Cal Riley, the big dumper. This is his Power Player card from 2025. Card number PP37. An insert from Topps Chrome. Cal Riley, pushing Aaron Judge to his limits this year for AL MVP considerations. Had himself a career year with the power numbers out there in Seattle. And he shows up on a Power Players card based on what happened in 2024 for the most part. But he is one of your prototypical power hitters of the future. This is a cool looking card. All the Power Players cards in 2025 kind of look like this with this colorful background and the kind of rays of light showing through like that. I'm a big fan of, you already know, Topps Chrome. Chrome cards are I love them. And anytime they can play around with an insert, and this is also refractor too. So it's a pretty decent looking card. Anything Chrome is valuable. And of course, once you put a player on there, depending on who that player is, and how the thing is bounced out, if it's a one of, or if it's an of, if it's, the deals when it comes to these cards and how popular they can get. This is a base card of a Topps Chrome insert. All right. There's nothing fancy. This is not a serial numbered card. This is a refractor base card. This is really the baseline limit of what they came out with in this card for 2025. And it's a Cal Riley. So it makes it somewhat marketable. You're not going to take over the world with this baseball card. It's about $4. For any collector. The market has sold for $4. Now, I don't know how much a collector would want to pay for it. That's the beautiful thing about the business, but $4 right now, it has sold for. And again, a big fan of the Chrome, big fan of Topps, big fan of not a big fan of Kyle Riley's, but big fan of the card. And yeah, so there you have it. Tonight's MattyB's card review, the insert from the 2025 Topps Chrome Power Players, Cal Riley's PP37. And here it is in its original form or its physical form. Again, the back is pretty cool. It has the full picture there with all the stats, and just an awesome card, man. Just awesome Chrome cards are awesome. I said it. I want to keep saying it. Keep saying it till I'm blue in the face. Chrome cards are awesome. All right, let's go take us to the end. New Year's Day. Happy New Year. 2026 is here. And now it's time to get it back to work, right? For those of you that have been sandbagging the last couple of weeks, it's time to get back to work. Not me. I've been with you throughout this entire process, and I do want to thank you guys for that. I want to thank you for a great holiday season here on the network. We had a huge upkick in subscriptions and followers and views and all those other things, and I want to thank you for that. It was a great Christmas present to see that. It's a testament to the hard work of the individuals that make It's a Wrap Sports their home. And it's also a testament to you guys who follow us and support us. So I want to thank you for that. And remember, 2026 is unwritten. And who knows what we'll look like at the end of this year. Hopefully it's better than we start. And hopefully we can grow more. Obviously, there's goals that we want to achieve here. And we can't do those without you. So continue to spread the word about us. As Joe Hale said, he's going to be at the Flyers Tampa game. Joe, bring that sign, man. Put that thing up there. I want to get some subscriptions out of your hard work. But no, I do want to thank everybody for their support. And I want to wish you one last time a Happy New Year. I want to wish you one last time a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you peace, happiness, and blessings for the entirety of 2026 and beyond. And to say that I will not see you again until Sunday. I'll be back for the final word Sunday night. But that's going to be it for me. I get to take my holiday weekend now, seeing how I was the only one who had to work throughout all of this. But I'll be pretty much stepping out until Sunday night. Tomorrow, you got Big Al with the Philly Friday Frenzy. On Saturday, you'll have the post-game Flyers Oilers. We're also going to run the best of on Saturday morning of a few of the shows later that happen later in the week. And then on 9, we got a big day. Philly AM Sports, pregame Steel City Sunday, postgame Birds Flyby, Eagles Commanders, my show Sunday night, and then wrapping it all up at the Steel City Sunday postgame Steelers Ravens late night. So keep on watching, and we're going to do great things in 2026. So from all of us here at the It's a Wrap Sports Network, to all of you, Happy New Year. God bless you, and we'll see you next time, and keep watching.